Welcome to Soul Awakening Conversations. I'm so glad to have you with us today. Geoffrey Johny, I always want to put his last name first, is going to join us today. So let me give him a proper introduction. Today we are joined by a soul who truly embodies transformation. He's a mentor, he's a speaker, he's a visionary founder of World Inspires. He has this movement dedicated to awakening the human potential and raising the collective consciousness. I thank you for joining him and I in this conversation of awakening. So he will be with us shortly. Welcome in. And we will be asking 3 empowering questions to him. And I mean we, because you are part of this conversation. And I've got 3 flow-centered questions for Geo, okay? And hopefully we can get it in within the 45 minutes that he has to give us, because in Dubai it is 9:30 at night, and he is doing this coming off of work. And I am so happy that he will be joining us shortly. So I promised that I would give him a notification. So let me do that. Let me just do that really quickly. And I sent it off to him. So here he is. Everyone, just as I sent it off, here he came. So I'm going to give him a wave. Let's all applaud him in. And let's see. It says I have no requests for him to join. Geoffrey, hit the request. For some reason, it's not letting me request you. We have to go with the flow of Instagram. That's all, and it makes us take pauses, but pauses are okay. It gives you an opportunity to breathe. Welcome in.
Hey, thank you for having me, Sandra. Thank you for having me. How are you
I
feeling?
am good. I am my favorite song. I'm so excited. I just
Hey,
can't hide it.
yes,
Right? And I gave you a introduction already, but I would like you to briefly introduce yourself, right?
okay.
And I hope you can see all the comments that I don't know if you see people coming in, but
Mm-hmm.
you might be able to see their comments as they start to show up.
Okay, that is totally fine.
Okay. And I do encourage people to ask questions, but we only have 45 minutes of Geo's time because it's 9:30 at night there. Like I said earlier, he's doing this coming off of working, and then he has to get back up to do it again tomorrow. So we're going to
Mm-hmm.
honor his time as best we
Appreciate that.
can. Okay. So I have 4 questions for you, Geo.
Okay,
And anywhere in between that, you feel free to ask me questions because that's definitely a conversation.
beautiful.
All
Shall do
right.
that.
Okay, so we'll start with your brief introduction of yourself because I already gave you my glowing introduction of you.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Well, I go by the name of Gio, but my full name is Geoffrey Johny. I'm an artist. I'm a soul retriever. I like to see myself as the person or the soul that's here to experience life ultimately, and through my artistry, through my talents, and through my wisdom in itself. So that's who I am. Short way of saying it. I could write a whole book about myself, but I'll just keep it like that.
Yeah, I think at this point I could now that I know myself more, that know thyself. So I am definitely happy to have you here. As always, we click, as always.
Yes.
Um, so let's get started with the first question. Okay. These are flow centered questions because this, my new podcast is about emerge and flow. That's what makes it different from 2 years ago. Because 2 years ago, I was only embarking on that moment when you had your first spiritual awakening, right? And this emerge and flow is about how that emerged into who you are and how you are flowing in life itself, right?
Yes, I
Body,
love that.
mind, and soul. Okay. So the first, and as I tell all my guests, these questions begin the moment you tell me, yes, I can be on your show. I start
Okay.
diving into the questions with the divine and I write them down. And I want them to flow exactly the way the divine gave me the question for you. Okay. So I'm going
All
to
right.
read it.
Sounds great.
We're going to, okay. So here we go. You call yourself an alchemist, and that's a powerful archetype. What does alchemy mean to you in this modern world? And how do you help people turn their inner lead into gold?
Whoa. I love that. I love that. I love that. See, sometimes you gotta let you gotta let things sink in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for me, being an alchemist is all about turning things from one thing to another, to whatever you want it to be, and that's like conscious creativity, conscious creating, right?
Right,
So when it comes to that, is no matter what is happening around you, no matter what is happening around you, it's happening in a way either for you or to you. And you get to dictate which, however, perception you would like to see it as, you know? So anything can come from a victim mindset point of view, but you can turn that victim mindset point of view to a conquer mindset, a winner point of view, right? And that's how you turn anything from lead into gold, right? Something that could have been something like something so unfair to you per se, you can turn it into a blessing for you, depending on how you look at it and depending on how you uh, entertain it and experience it in a way or the other. Because I believe at the end of the day, we are here to create our own reality, right? And through that reality in itself, we were able to take ownership because we are creators, you know? At the end of the day, it's our world, and every world, like right now, it's you're capturing a glimpse of my world, and I'm coming into experience and into collaboration with your world, and that's why we're merging our worlds together, right?
right,
So from my experience, from my energy that I'm exerting right now towards you, you're experiencing that world that I am creating through my belief system, through how I perceive the world, to what I think about the world in a way or the other, right? To my
right,
mindset and through my actions. So my actions led me to be here today with you right here right now, and your actions led you to be here today with me right now. So in a way, the other is based on our own world that brought us together. Something within our own world brought us here together, and it's all based on our, like I said, our upbringings, our way of reprogramming our mindset and everything like so. So I believe that at the end of the day, anybody can turn lead into gold, and it's based about awareness. And you said it right in the first way, how you spoke about knowing thyself. Once you know thyself, you know how to create with yourself and co-create with the world, with the universe, and with the creator itself. So yeah, you just got to use your gifts. I hope that
right.
answers the question.
Oh, that dived deep into the question, definitely. And what came up as you were speaking was when we know ourselves, when we get to know ourselves, we can create boundaries, but not get stuck in our boundaries. Um,
Hmm.
Sometimes we create boundaries, we get stuck there because we don't understand that change is part of the alchemy of making something new.
Yeah.
And we
Yes.
hear everybody say boundaries, 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 but know thyself in why you're number one, why you think you need a boundary. Number two, where that boundary is going to, if you're doing it to keep, people out or keep you in, and how, if you're doing it to keep people out or situations, circumstances, energies out, then when you get ready to change, will change be allowed in? That's what I learned for myself, because I was having boundaries, trying to keep everybody out, when not understanding that they were part of the catalyst that helped me to change. It didn't
Yes.
feel comfortable and I
Mhm.
didn't
Mhm.
like it, but I was
Mhm.
supposed to be able to feel it and feel that uncomfortability or that dislike for it, to say to myself, what do I want instead?
Yes.
So your question, your answer was spot on. Thank you so
I love
much.
that.
And
May I
everyone is
add
saying
something?
hello to you.
Yeah, I can see that. That's why I just wrote. I just wrote, "How's it going, family?" May I add something to what you were just saying?
Uh-huh. Yes.
Because that was so powerful. And every time you were saying the word boundary, this idea was coming into my mind, and it's about your boundaries is what you're bound to, right? So when you're bound to something, is you already stopping yourself from experiencing more, right? And that's why
Right.
when I will speak, bringing it back to what I was saying about us bringing my world to your world and merging it, right? If I'm placing some certain kind of boundary because of whatever your world is testing me to experience, and keyword is a test. So I can either get to pass the test and see what it brings in, or I can just deny the test and just say, I'm gonna be in my lane, I'm gonna be in my reality, I'm gonna be in whatever program I allowed myself to be in for God knows how long it is. And I think also that comes based on reaction, right?
Right.
So sometimes we feel like we're just placing boundaries because of, no, this is me being conscious of what I do not like and what I do like, and what I do not appreciate and what I do appreciate. But sometimes you gotta understand, like, what is stopping you from experiencing something.
Exactly.
Unless you have already experienced it and you know what it is, beautiful. But if you haven't experienced it, you're just assuming because of whatever thing it is, that is you basically placing your history, your program, whatever you've been programmed to in a way or the other, to stop you from experiencing something new. Because every person is a different individual. So if just because one person or one action reminds us of whatever we have experienced before, like, oh, that's a red flag, that's a red flag, so I'm not gonna get into that. But you don't know necessarily exactly what it is. You're already judging a book by its cover based on one action, based on one appearance. But it's
Exactly.
never necessarily that thing. So it's all like a fine line to it, I believe, at the end of the day, because you gotta move with discernment, 100%. But
Hmm.
sometimes it's definitely gotta ask yourself, what is telling you that this is you placing a boundary because of your own protection, where it could be something that is blocking you from your next level, the next way of how you could be.
Exactly. Exactly. Blocking you from the next level that you're going to, if we're talking about turning lead into gold, what is your gold?
Hmm.
Your
Hmm.
gold is your levels, I think.
Yes.
If we take it into spirituality, into energy, that
Hmm.
gold, that lead that you're turning into gold is where you want to go next. And
Hmm.
sometimes it's
Hmm.
bumping up against the quantum. For me, it's bumping up against the quantum all the time. Really, it's
Yes.
like,
Hmm.
okay, what next? Oh my God, this doesn't feel good, but where am I going from here? That type of momentum.
Hmm. Hmm.
Question
Hmm.
number two.
Okay, I could dive in deeper and deeper, and I think that was the beautiful way of seeing it, and I could go even deeper and expand on what you were saying as well. But I don't know. At the end of the day, I think we want to keep on the flow, so you just go as you go.
Yeah, I think Sarah. Sarah in Synergy says, yes, discernment with boundaries and also being open and willing to see that all situations are not the same. Love this.
Hmm.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much. Okay,
you're
the
most
next
welcome.
question. You are a mentor, speaker, and the founder of World Inspires. What sparked that creation? What sparked that creation
Mm,
of movement? How does it serve the deeper evolution of you and how you want to see the world?
I love this. I love this so much. So, with that being said, let me just take a deep breath in. So, I always like to challenge myself in the first place. So, whenever it came about me just creating the world inspires, it was about me learning from the world, seeing the world, and looking at the world from a perspective of how can I be assistance to the world, because I was seeing so many different individuals going through their own struggles, right? But to me, looking from the outside point of view, I was like, that is not a struggle. That is just a stepping stone for you to get to where you want to get to, until you change your perspective. And you might have been missing this perspective because you've been focused way too much on the left and to look to your right to see what other world can be around you. It can come from you, right? And based on that is because it's what got me to start the World Inspires and started sharing quotes, ideas, perspectives. Because when I did get into any kind of conversations with any of my friends or if people that I would meet on the streets and stuff like that, we will have a perspective conversation. And
Right,
most of the times, whenever we would when we would finish the conversation, they will share like, oh, I never actually thought about it in this way. Thank you for bringing that to my awareness in that kind of way. They wouldn't say exactly those kind of words, but they would imply those kind of things in that kind of
right,
way. And it got me to realize like we all have a gift, and that gift comes through our own being, inner being, right? And
mhm,
whatever our energy and our frequency is at, then our frequency is what we frequently see with these eyes, but not just these physical eyes. It's with our third eye, right? We got three
right,
eyes, and based on that, if we allow ourselves to dive in deeper with all these experiences, you get to realize that you have a perspective that can heal, that can bring awareness and teach people. At the
right,
same time, you're teaching yourself, right? And that's
exactly.
what I was seeing, like based on me opening up, speaking about whatever was coming through to me, and hearing the response from whatever I was sharing to from people and things like that, got me to realize that it's allowing me to know myself even deeper, even better. And that's why I said the world inspires, because before it started with like Geo World Inspires, like my world inspires, right? But then I
Hmm.
was like, no, the world inspires, because the same way how I inspire the world is the world that inspires me. So it's like a constant flow between energies, that we are inspiring each other. That's why we're doing this little dance here and there, through
Yeah.
conversations, through actions, through perspectives, through way of thinking, through energy in general. And that's why, bringing it back to how we began the conversation, is our world merging together. And my world is inspiring your world, whilst your world is inspiring my world. Because everything that's coming through me right now is based on your world's perspective, your world's questions that you bring into the table, right? So
Exactly.
you're inspiring me to speak these words out of the situation, right? If it was a different person interviewing me, they would inspire me to speak other things. And based on our energy, this is what the words that are coming out of my mouth, one way or the other.
Right, right. For me, I base it on, I will say I'm old enough, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying old with a negative. I'm old enough
Mm-hmm.
to recall 45 records,
Mm-hmm.
where it had an A side and a B side. And the A side was the song that was most played on the radio, and the B side
Mm-hmm.
was, just kind of filler. And I
Mm-hmm.
look at it like this. I am on my A side. I am the lead in my story. Okay. And when I mean
Mm-hmm.
lead, it means, okay, my higher being wanted to uh, play on this playground and learn these things. So
Yes.
everything that was set up on that A side was set up so that I could experience. But at the same time that I had the featured extras or the seasoned co-stars or the filler people that come in and out as filler.
Yes.
On the B
Yes.
side, they're having their story, and I
Mm-hmm.
have placement in that story wherever
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
placement is. I'm not the lead on that B side. They
Mm-hmm.
they
Mm-hmm.
are who, and
Yes.
it could be 5 people or it could be 5,000 people
Mm-hmm.
in
Mm-hmm.
that story. And when I actually physically sat in that for a minute, that was knowing thyself for me. Oh, okay. These people are showing up so that I can have a story. Some of them might be showing up on purpose to really stick it to me because
Mm-hmm.
that's who they're
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be in that. They're being purposefully um rocking my boat.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. And
Mm-hmm.
then
Mm-hmm.
whether it is on purpose or not, being the catalyst,
Mm-hmm.
I get to say to myself, well, who do I want to be right now in this
Mm-hmm.
story as I'm growing, as I'm expanding, right? And
Yeah.
then do I want to let go of these individuals that have come in under this, if you want to call it a soul contract, you can
Mm-hmm.
come in as this agreement to be there so that they could push me to the next
Mm-hmm.
level of gold, from lead to gold to that next
Yes.
level,
Yes.
and then go, I release you from this contract because I've learned it already. But guess what?
Mm-hmm.
On the B side of that record, I'm still in their life. I have to
Okay.
find where they place me.
Yes.
Before I set boundaries to just get rid of them, am I supposed to fulfill a story for them or help them fulfill a story, right?
Mm, yeah.
It just blows my mind that so it's perfect. When your egoic mind looks at it, it looks at it as chaos, but it's chaos in perfection, as the divine is seeking itself, right?
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
Right. All
I
right.
love that.
So third question, are you
Go
ready?
ahead.
Drum
Yeah, I'm
roll.
ready.
Da, 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 da. Okay. Okay. We all know, at least I know, that you work with the universal laws, the laws that govern energy, creation, and alignment. Is there any one universal law that you feel people often misunderstand and overlook? And how could it change someone's life if they truly began to become aware of it and embody it?
Mm, I love that. So for me, the first one that came into my mind, I'm gonna just stick to that because I don't want to overthink it. But it's the law of polarity, right?
Ah, yes.
Yes. Like there's there's an opposite to everything, right? And that is what brings balance to things. I feel like people they overlook that and they think they want to stay in that positive vibes. Everything's so positive, everything's so positive, la 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 la, in that fairy tale, and neglecting the negative sides when the negative side's there to assist the positive side,
Yeah.
to complete the positive side. Because how can you be grateful when you don't know what to be ungrateful for in a way or the
Right.
other? It's like one needs the other for you to then not appreciate one another, right?
Right.
So people just think, oh, I just want to be grateful, I just want to be grateful. But there's a lesson in the darkness, and the most powerful lessons come from darkness, come from
Exactly.
beyond the iceberg. Like we thinking we want to celebrate the tip of the iceberg, and that's the gratitude, right? But the
Yeah, the
multitude is
iceberg
what's
is way up
under.
here, but there's so much
Yes,
underneath.
exactly. And that's the thing that makes you pop up and be grateful for. But if you don't go through the trenches, if you don't do that shadow work, if you don't work on those things that do trigger you, then your your gratitude that you're trying to project in one way or the other is just how can I say? It's not a reality. It's just you living a fairy tale that then eventually is gonna come to hit you with the reality of like, oh wow, I haven't actually have not been doing the work. I actually have not been really, seeing myself for who I am and what I attract. Because at the end of the day, everything that you're attracting in life is based on something that comes from within you, right?
Right,
We experience the world, the external world comes from within, so without, as above, so below, right?
right.
So all those things happen because of something. And if we are not questioning and seeing it as a point of view, as I said before, from a victim point of view, rather than, what did I do to create this experience or to
Ex-
attract this experience towards me? Okay, maybe this is just checking me, letting me know like this is where my frequency is at. So I just have to go up and level it up in a way or the other. There was this funny thing that has happened. This was like back in 2020 when I actually met like my soul family one way or the other, and we're just having these beautiful conversations and things like that on how to be just grateful about life. And I was sending a voice note, and I was just walking around my bedroom, and all of a sudden I just hit my toe on the bedside, right? And
mhm.
instead of me just being upset and cussing my bed out or whatever the case may be, I was like, ah, thank you, Ben, for showing me what pain is all about. Thank you for letting me know where I'm at, one way or the other. Because that's literally what it's all about, right? So if we're here just appreciating the beauty of life, life is supposed to be experienced to the fullest, right? We always keep on saying we want to experience life to the fullest. But
Right.
what is your fullest? Because fullest means the lows and the highs, everything. Everything mixed
Exactly.
is what makes life, right? But you're thinking, I want to live back to the fullest by saying, I just want to live the good life and or the good things. But even that,
Exactly.
the things that seem like not so good, they're good as well. Because you learn from them, you grow from them, you experience them.
Oh
They
yeah.
say that no pain, no gain kind of thing. When you go to the gym and you're here working out, you're feeling that pain, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's making you sore one way or the other. But for some reason, when it comes to that, you're grateful for that because you know what it's bringing for you, which is, expansions on your muscles, you're working out, you're getting better, you're getting healthier, right? So
Right.
why don't you look at everything in life from that perspective? If this is hurting you right now, it's probably because it's bringing you to something bigger about you, to learn about something about yourself one way or the other. And it's teaching
Right.
you something about deeper and deeper and deeper, rather than just saying it, oh no, because you're hurting me, you're bad. But at the same time, that same energy is what you will meet in the gym because you're lifting these weights and they're hurting your arms. They're killing your muscles because that's how you grow them, right? One way or the other. So you're breaking your muscles down for them to
Mm-hmm.
expand. So something along those lines is breaking you in this reality, but you're thinking it's bad for you, but it's at the end of the day showing you something different, you know. So
Yeah.
that is part of polarity. That's I don't know. Sometimes I
Yeah.
go on a tangent,
What is in
and I
is
go and I
out,
go
and
and I
what
go
is
and I go.
out is in. Yes. Well, there cannot be any light without dark. There can't be a
Exactly.
left without a right and a right without a left.
Exactly.
There just can't be joy without some
Hmm.
extreme discomfort, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Exactly.
Sarah says, "Oh my God, thank you for this. I dropped my food this morning and went straight to victimhood mode. Why these things keep happening to me? Curse words and thank you for reminding me to see the reason." And the thing is, guys, we're not telling you that you can't feel disappointed
Hmm.
because you dropped your food or
Hmm. Hmm.
feel the
Hmm.
pain because you stubbed your toe. It's feeling that and then not staying in it for that moment. How are you going to allow yourself to move through it? When are you going to allow your higher for me, what worked was allowing my higher being to say, well, what are you feeling right now? And then allowing my higher being to feel the pain. Ooh, this hurts. This is what pain feels like. And my higher being says, oh, okay, Now, what do we need to do so that you don't feel that anymore? Well, I need to thank my, and for me, when I stub my toe now, I thank my toe for moving into healing. To
Alrighty.
you
Okay.
know, I
Love that.
I remind my toes or my hitting my knee, hitting my funny bone or whatnot. Oh, you were created so that you could heal. I want you to go there right now, right? This takes a lot of work. I'm going to tell you, I'm not perfect. Sarah, I still do a curse word or two when I stub my toe or when I hit my knee because that's allowing me to feel it, right?
Yes.
So it's not saying that you have to not feel the pain of situations, not feel the pain of circumstances, not feel the uncomfortability of difficult conversations when people just drop in on you and just dump on you, or they're dumping on you and they're making you the bad guy because they're putting, casting themselves onto you, right? It's not to say that they're not wrong. It's to say how long are you going to stay there acknowledging that they're wrong and that you're in victimhood. I think for me that's all I'm trying to tell you is the experience of being body, mind, and soul is to experience it all and decide what quantum energy you're going to stay in. For me,
Yes. I love that.
for
I love that.
you know,
Now you said it.
okay,
You said it well enough. I just wanted to expand on that as well
go
because
go ahead.
this is what I love. This is why I love these kind of conversations because I feel like we can never stick to just question and answer because we gotta expand more on what was asked and what was answered and way the other. And I wanted to say, like, I love how you mentioned, like, you're already there thanking your toe for already starting a healing process. Because truth be told, every pain that we attract one way or the other, whether it's sickness, disease, whatever the case may be, they're asking for attention. So
Yes.
whatever disease that you got going on, or sickness, whatever it's a flu or whatever, it's asking you to bring that attention and awareness to that part of your body that is asking
Exactly.
for help because maybe you have been ignoring feeling that pain one way or the other, and now you have to bring that attention and awareness. Then you foresee whenever something like this could happen again, you're already protecting it. You know what I'm saying? Like, ideally, like if you go outside right now, and obviously I live in the UAE, so it's always hot. But let's say if right now I was in, I don't know, Italy or anyway the UK, and it's there super cold because it's getting to winter time and everything like that, and then I decide to go there with like my swimming trunks out, right? I'm
Yeah.
already asking, I'm already basically telling that I don't really care to protect my body enough, and so if the sickness does come, at the end of the day, I cannot blame why is this happening to me. I can learn from this experience and be like, okay, next time I know for a fact that when I go outside and it's this cold, I should protect myself. I should put a hoodie on, I should put a jacket on, whatever the case may be, that will make sure that I'm conserving this health rather than just putting myself there to get unhealthy. So I
Right.
think that is mainly what it's all about when it comes to that kind of experience. And once again, it's all about, once again, the frequency, right? Frequency is all about where your mindset is at, where your consciousness is at right now. So if you're aware enough and your frequency is high enough, you're able to protect yourself and know that, okay, cool, if I go outside right now, I might get a sneeze or two the next day. You know what I'm saying? I might even be having the flu, whatever the case may be. But if I protect myself when I get to that situation, then I know for a fact that I will be able to be safer than sorry at the end of the day. So,
Right.
it's just about bringing that awareness in one way or the other. Like, to me, whenever something is happening that I see myself so many different times, and this was like a quick, powerful experience that I'm gonna tell you right now, that happened to me. I think it was, I want to say now, a month ago, right? I
Okay.
was here driving. actually, before I even say this, let me just say, like, at the end of the day, even when you do have your cuss moments and things like that, it's all part of learning. You know, we grow, we go through this experience in life, and you go
Yes,
up. Just
it's
because
the
you've
wave.
reached this height that you think, oh, now I know it all because I'm I have this enlightenment that I shouldn't cuss, I shouldn't eat this kind of foods, I shouldn't do all this A, B, and C. You're meant to go up and down with it. You know, it's always because you thinking that, and then you might blame yourself like, oh, I'm not so high on that level of awareness because now I'm doing the
Right.
same mistakes again. But truth be told, within that same mistake, you're now learning something different about yourself. You know, the same way
Exactly.
how, like, right now, if you open this book and you read this book from the first page to the last page, and you keep on reading it, every single time you're reading it, there's something that might stand out to you that you might have not thought about it the first time you read it. And it's
Right.
because every single time, even though you thinking you're experiencing the same thing, you're never experiencing the same thing because we are changing every single moment. Every moment brings a different
Exactly.
experience, a different awareness. So I don't want you to think like, oh, just because you've done the same mistake that you've done last year, that you haven't moved forward. No, you definitely have moved forward. Now there's a deeper lesson in that experience that you might have to unravel even further, or peel this layer back. And you will
Right.
only understand it once you go through it again and again and again and again. And like I said, there's no race. This experience of life is a lesson, right? And this
Right.
school called this thing called school, because I think like life can either be seen as a school, a game, or a movie, however you want to see it, right? But
Right.
there's always a deeper thing to it, and nobody is racing this thing. Your own school is, the way you process things is the way you process things. So don't think just because somebody has, I don't know, is in their is 15 years old and they already know how to foresee whatever you're experiencing right now, that makes you less worthy or less smart. No, you are smart in your own way, and you have a deeper lesson to go through. And there's people that will not be able
Exactly.
to sustain that patience of going through those lessons again and again and again and again, right? And you're able to do that. So you gotta see the polarity to that, the blessings in disguise.
Okay, don't
But
forget
yeah,
the story.
exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, let me get to the story now. So basically, here's what happened. I say that to say that I was having emotion one of those days, and I was driving late night, and I could see, like, I was speaking to my friend about whatever I was experiencing in that point in time, and I wasn't coming from a higher perspective. I wasn't speaking with like light words. I was speaking with heavy energy, heavy tonality, and all that stuff. But I feel like I just needed to vent one way or the other, right?
Right.
But subconsciously, I could see myself. I could see my higher self telling me, slow down, like just let it go. Let whatever you're holding on to, because this is what it is. Like, as you mentioned, it's okay to feel, but don't dwell in it for too long, because that can
Exactly.
then break you rather than make you, right? And
Hmm.
I believe that everything that we're going through, we're growing through. But if you stay on that level, you're not growing anymore. Now you're just depleting yourself and staying in deep in that. And it's gonna get to a point like this was happening for you to witness, expand, and grow. But if you just keep on saying like, wow, 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 you're never gonna grow, right?
Right.
So I was in that vibration at that point in time, and I could hear my higher self speaking to me lightly, like, okay, just let it go, just drop it, just drop it, just drop it. And I was like in my ego so damn much that I was like, nah, I'm gonna keep on going, I'm gonna keep on talking about this. And like I said, I was driving late night, and I'm usually on my on the fast lane, because like when I want to go somewhere, I like to go fast sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always on the fast lane, on the left side here in Dubai.
Hmm.
And but for some reason that night, I was not on the left lane. I was on the middle lane, and I wasn't driving fast. I was just driving slow for some reason. But I was just there. And the moment I was saying something, I was about to say something, like, to me, like I said, everything that we speak is like a spell, right? So
Exactly.
we're either speaking life to our into our life, or we're speaking death into our life. Like the power of the tongue is you cannot play with, right?
Right.
This is just you, the affirmations, the things that you declare, even if it's for a joke. there's always a truth in a joke, no matter what. So be mindful, because I used to be on that level before that. I used to just joke about things, just to joke about things, and place myself in a and belittle myself, right? Out
Right.
of just being modest or shy about things and things like that. Not knowing that that was programming myself to be in that energy and attract these
Mhm.
kind of things I was speaking about. So I
Right.
had to bring that awareness in anyway. So with that being said, I was there speaking, and I was about to say something that could have definitely, you know, broke something into my in my life that should be told I didn't want it to be to break, but I just wanted to vent about it, right? And before I even spoke those words, no word of a lie, this car on the other side, this was I was driving in the highway basically. So on this other side, this car you can hear a whole like stereo like going like, and then and that literally just feeling all this like goosebumps right now just thinking about it. It just literally stopped me on my it stopped my tongue from speaking whatever I was gonna speak.
Right.
And literally that car that it was a car crash that happened, and the car went over the wall basically that was separating one side to the other side, and it went over there. And literally, if I was, let's say, 3 seconds behind, or even if I was on the left side, literally on the hard shoulder, like going fast, that
Hmm.
car right there would have literally smashed into me. And I
Right.
was just like there in shock at that point. I was like, yo, because I never even witnessed like a car accident anyway. Like in like full on like in reality. I've seen cars, you know, bear on the side because they had an accident, but I never seen it fully happen in full motion. So I was just there in
Right.
shock, like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, what just happened? What just happened? What just happened? Seeing the car in my rearview mirror, seeing it like that, just flipped over. I'm like, whoa! And at this point, I cannot even do anything. Like I'm just literally, I cannot turn to see if the person is okay. I cannot. I just literally was going there because then there was like a whole runabout, and then if you have to go to the runabout, and you wouldn't even see that car anymore by the time you come back. So I was
Hmm.
like, whoa. And I'm just there reflecting because I was literally sending a voice note. So then I sent the voice note and I could hear what I was speaking the whole entire time and where my vibration was at the whole entire time. And the moment I was about to speak that thing, that's when you hear that crash. And I was like,
Right.
whoa,
I just got
that was.
goosebumps all over me. You
I'm
know.
telling you, I'm feeling it right now just speaking about it. I'm like, whoa, and that
Yeah.
just let me know like the universe is always there teaching you, showing you when to stop and when not to stop. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm.
that to me was like a blessing in disguise, one way or the other. So I
Mm.
obviously feel for the person that had to be the lesson in in causing
Exactly.
that, right? I feel for
Yeah.
that, but I understood that at the end of the day is where I was at with my frequency, with my vibration, is what attracted that situation one way or the other for me to witness it, experience it. So I was
Mm.
like, whoa, I don't want to experience these kind of things, whether if it's witnessing people going through it or, being myself being involved in that situation, that kind of thing.
Right.
So I understood that is how I speak,
Right.
where I hold my vibration is what's going to attract either the good or the bad, one way or the other. And
Exactly.
all that is
Exactly.
it's a lesson, because what your frequency is at is what you like. Frequency is what you frequently see. So what do you frequently see? Do you frequently see love, light, and abundance in everything, no matter what it looks like? Because that's where your mindset is at. Or do you
Hmm.
just see the negative and you're always pessimistic and you're always going on about it on a complaint tangent kind of thing, and
Right.
we have to experience both realms one way or the other to know exactly, okay, where do we want to be at now, and how do we
Exactly.
keep on pushing ourselves there,
Yeah.
even though when things are happening here, how can we still be grateful for that and see the lesson and then go there instead of just be like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, so
Yeah. Yeah,
that's what.
definitely. And guys, we're not saying you can't go there and go, oh my God, oh my God. We're not saying that you can't do the why me. If you want to
Mhm,
be in
mhm,
victim
mhm.
mode, guess what? The divine says, let that be so.
Yeah,
It really
you're
does.
more
The
than welcome.
divine is seeking itself through you and through whatever vibration you're in at the moment. And
Mhm,
and
mhm, mhm.
and you could stay in the victim vibration your entire life, and the divine is not going to say bad girl, bad boy. The divine is just not going to do that. The divine is going to
Mhm.
say, let it be so. I see you as the victim. I'm understanding your victimhood. I'm understanding this vibration. I'm understanding it all. But what we're saying is, if you want to be that lead that is alchemized into gold, and knowing that the gold is different levels of your growth, it's I look at it as earth consciousness, and earth, her body, being the playground for all our learning. That if
Mhm.
you don't like being in the play area where politicians play, it's up to you to decide what
Yep.
vibration does not feel right in that play area for you, and decide where you want to go from there, because there are other play areas, and the play areas are so infinite and so vast, and you get to create from everything. You get to go, nope. And somebody saying, oh, you just don't want to be in politics, and then you'll never have the right to say anything. That's their perspective. If you their perspective, let it be so. That's all the divine is going to say. But if you want to say, well, I see what's going on in the world, I see what they're saying, but I want to see how I'm going to grow and expand from this. Because
Mhm.
number one, there's a lesson to be learned. I already found out I don't want to play there, but I'm not dying because they're playing in that arena. What I'm going to do is I'm going to see how I not just survive, but I thrive. Okay, because
Yep.
everyone might be in that play area just surviving and doing the woe is me. You have the opportunity to do, I think I'm going to grow and expand. I think I'm going to keep still making money. I think I'm going to still go and enjoy family. I think these are your choices. That's all uh, Geo is saying, is you have the opportunity to be in the frequency. You get to see the frequency that you're in. You get to decide when you want to move, when you want to shift. That's called shifting, expanding, and evolving. Now, for my signature soul awakening question. And my
Mhm.
signature is emerge and flow. Okay?
Mhm.
In your own journey as an alchemist and a guide, was there a moment where your soul cracked open, where you weren't just talking about transformation? You were seeing, feeling, and being the living version of it, where you began to emerge as who you really are, and everything just started to flow differently and succinctly. Are you
Mhm.
aware of that, of those moments? It doesn't have to just
Yes.
be one, Geo.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And I'm sorry this is taking you over your 45 minutes. I'm
No,
sorry.
no, no.
For
Truth be
forgive
told,
me.
no, no. Truth be told, like I want to expand even more. I don't even mind staying over longer because now, I'm not working tomorrow, so that's totally fine. So, so we can flow, we can flow, we can emerge and go as we go.
Okay.
Um, but what I was gonna say, yeah, I couldn't just pinpoint it to one moment or to one experience because I think it's an everyday experience every single time, and I have these kind of realizations um, one way or the other every day as I expand into my world. And if I once I ground myself and really reflect through how the day went, or the week, or the month, or the year, or whatever the case may be, that was like a full on awakening for me, and that's when I had my spiritual awakening, where the things became more clearer on where I'm here to do one way or the other, for myself, for the world as well, one way or the other. And that's how the World Inspires came about. But it's uh, what I realized at one point. It's like, oh, I'm coming out with all this wisdom, so I only have to share this wisdom by speaking, right? By whether if it's writing quotes or things like that. That's how you share wisdom. But what the aha moment that I had is like, no, your wisdom is your energy. Because at the end of the day, your how do you gain wisdom? It's from the knowledge, from the mistakes that you've done and that you experience. It's through your experiences that you gain wisdom. So wisdom doesn't just come from books or lectures and stuff like that. It's through life in itself.
Right.
And when we, put a boundary in, or when we box ourselves in because of what we want to do in life and how we think we're meant to be seen as, whether it's I'm supposed to be a lecturer or a teacher, a mentor, a coach, or whatever the case may be, when it's like, no, this is just this one hat that you can wear, but you have many hats. Like, you know what I'm saying? Whether if it's even as an individual, I am a brother, a son,
Yes.
whatever the case may be, into people's life, I'm wearing a hat every single different time, to depending on who I'm speaking to, a friend, a partner, a business partner, a brother or sister. I mean, a sister, a brother or son, whatever the case may be, right? So it's all those kind of things that you can see it from that kind of thing, and we embody that holistically, like
Right.
fully, right? And when we are aware of that, then we get to decide like, oh, I can be Geo the artist, I can be Geo the alchemist, I can be Geo the coach, the lecturer, the guru, I don't know, whatever the case may be. I can be whoever I want to be. And that
Exactly.
realization came through when I was making music. I felt like, oh, because now that I'm coming with all this wisdom, I cannot make music anymore, because at that point the music that I was making was more like egotistical, just partying and partying BS. You know what I'm saying? Those kind of things. So I feel like, oh, now I gotta let go
But
of.
that was going to be the question that I was going to kind of throw in there is
Mm-hmm,
making music. Your
mm-hmm,
soul was
mm-hmm,
still having fun, even though it
mm-hmm.
was egotistical. Do you know what I
Yes, yes,
mean? Because that was
yes.
part of the learning process,
Mm-hmm, 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 mm-hmm. And
right?
and that's, yeah, and that's literally what it is. I realized, like, you have to start from somewhere, right? Every single time you have
Right.
to start from somewhere, and that's when you can turn that lead into gold. Like, you just gotta keep on scraping this thing and seeing how far it is, because like your gold is buried inside of you,
Right.
and it's buried through all these layers and layers and layers and layers and layers, right? Um, I got it. Hi, God is love. How are you? And through these layers, you gotta peel them back. You gotta take the fluff out, basically, to find the
Exactly.
true gold. And that's what I was saying to you. Like, everything is a lesson. Everything is a blessing there, and only you can
Exactly.
discover the blessing based on that lesson. So whenever I was expanding my consciousness in my artistry, one way or the other. First I was there putting a boundary, like, oh, I can either be an artist or I can either be a spiritualist and speak about wisdom and all that stuff. But then I
Right.
realized, like, little by little, it's all it was merging. It was meant to
It
merge.
was
It's meant
like,
to be
yeah,
fully experienced, fully merge these different worlds. As I was saying, like, one world of the spiritualist and one world of the artist. We have to bring it together. How can we make this as one, right? In this, like,
exactly.
whether it's teaching lessons through music or teaching music through lessons, it's that kind of experience that I expanded upon that. So then I was sharing few wisdom, few nuggets one way or the other through my music, knowing that we're here merging one another through the experience. And when we feel like we are being spiritual, we
Right.
cannot be the other individual. But
Right.
the whole experience is, like, life is spiritual in general. So however you live in life, even if it's you're living life through your ego, that's still a spiritual experience.
It
You
is.
know?
It's a
So
vibrational experience. Your
exactly. So.
ego, that your ego part of you is energy. It cannot die. You
Mhm,
know,
mhm, mhm, mhm.
I truly, I don't disagree or agree with ego death. It is whatever
Yeah,
it is for the
yeah.
individual that's embarking on that. But
Mhm,
I
mhm.
believe that energy has never been created, nor can it be destroyed. All it can
Mhm.
do is transform or alchemize into something else. So for me, my egoic self is always in, it's always, school is always in. Ding, ding,
Yeah.
ding. Session is always in,
Yes.
you know.
Yes. I love
Right.
that.
So my ego might say, I want to go play over here on this side of the playground. And now my higher being says, oh, but little one, what if we go over here? You've been there before, you know? And I
Mhm, mhm.
actually hear my higher being and my egoic self having this conversation. And I feel like a fly on the wall. It feels really
Mhm.
good. And I'm not going to get swatted away. Right.
Yeah. Yes. I love that. Oh my God, I love that so much. And when you were saying that, and this is the kind of like whether if it's a perspective or mindset or funny stuff like that. When people speak about ego death, I never seen it as ego death. It always sounded like recalibration one way or the other, or if anything, it should be ego rebirth one way or the other, because like you're birthing into something else. You're teaching your ego something because you're going based on whatever your ego is based on the program through culture, religion, society, all that stuff, right?
Right.
And you're just reteaching it how to unlearn something and learn something, replacing something with something. So it's never dying. Your ego's still there. It's just bringing more awareness and it's making more space for something bigger than itself. So it's just rebirthing. And how we say when it comes to Christianity, like, oh, I'm born again. It's the same
Yeah.
goes with your ego death. You're not killing your ego. You're just rebirthing your ego in a different experience from a different point of view, a different perspective. Like you just depicted. You had a mindset shift one way or the other. So
Yeah.
from that mindset shift, it doesn't mean like now the other mindset is dead. No, it's still there, but you decided to expand on that, like go further, like go on to the next level. The same way how we go through school and we go from second grade, I mean first grade, second grade, third grade, da 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 da. Just because now first grade is done and you're going to second grade doesn't mean that whatever you've learned through your first grade is dead now. No, it's still
Right.
part of you. You're just expanding and expanding and
It's
expanding.
yeah,
So
it's still there as that
mhm, mhm.
that wherever it sits in the support of the ground, right?
Yes,
You
yes,
know,
yep.
and as you grow, it's kind of like a tree that's continuously, trees live, guys, trees live thousands upon thousands of years, okay? And I can
Mhm,
go on for a couple of more thousands, okay?
mhm.
And you've seen trees that branches sprout out and leaves sprout out, and
Mhm.
you see these big uh, trees that have all these rings around it because they've been around so long. Well, the leaves
Mhm.
may fall off, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
they grow again in the season. Like we said,
Mhm,
polarity. There's a
mhm,
time
mhm,
for growth, and then there's a time for rebirth, and then there's a time for the season to allow the tree to take in its nourishment,
yes, the
to take in
lesson,
its water, to
discipline.
take in the
Mhm,
sun, to take in the seeds that have fallen around it.
mhm, mhm,
And
mhm,
we're no different than those beings. Those trees are actual beings. And we're
yep,
no different than that. We have to grow,
mhm,
we have to expand. And for me, the moment that I began to know myself in that perspective,
mhm,
it went
mhm.
all right. So every time I go to sleep, guys, I finally realize that I'm like a computer. I get to restart the next day. I get to slumber and sleep. My higher being gets to go out and play in the quantum around me, taking my the full essence of me into the dream state. And then when I wake up, in that next now moment, I get to ask myself, where do I want to go from here? Do I want to go back into the situation or circumstance that was presenting itself a certain way? Or do I want to see that circumstance or situation presented in a different way? It doesn't
Yep.
mean that the situation or circumstance went away. It just means I'm restarting, I get to alchemize. I get to change. I get to transfer, you know, transform,
Transform, yeah.
my situation or my circumstance, and I get to go, ooh, how do I do it? Okay, I can taste it, I can feel it, kind of thing. So
Literally.
before we could dive into that, we could stay in that. But
I mean, we can go.
do you have an emerge and flow question for me?
Okay, okay.
Connie Bubbles said, "Hey, I love that. I love that handle, Connie Bubbles."
Oh, I think I cannot see messages anymore. And then I think they stopped for some reason.
Uh-huh.
Okay, okay. So now that you're here, right now, doing what you do, impacting the world, influencing the world when we get it through your podcast and your conversations, how do you see it expanding you, and how do you see it one way or the other bringing you to the experience? Because I know that no matter what conversation we're having, whether it's with me or with whoever new guest that you have or old guest, you've
Mhm.
always gained something from that conversation one way or the other. It was like a thing of that. So
Yeah.
do you think that the you living this way right now, like this, is your part of your purpose, and you think it's building you as well and expanding you more, and how do you see it as so for the future?
Yes, it's expanding me. It's definitely growth and expansion. It's taught me how to move from just my perspective of how I see things and listen
Mm,
to other people's perspectives, and moving from the judgment, arena. Because
mm,
when I grew up in school, one of the electives that they try to get everyone to take is sitting and going into classes where it was called debate class. And
okay.
they were teaching us how to debate things, one side or the other.
Mm,
And doing soul conversations with Sandra 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago, on Instagram, taught
mm,
me to listen, taught
mm,
me that while I was having this conversation with other people and how they were how they were experiencing their awakening process, or finding out that some people never experienced the awakening process, and it wasn't about judging them that they didn't experience it the way I experienced it. So this growth and expansion has taught me about the the evolution of me,
mm,
right? And
mhm,
the evolution of me is not only about me, but about the other versions of me, which means you are a version of me, because
yes,
we are both the divine.
yes,
So when I'm
yes.
looking at Geo, the other version of me, I'm filling in gaps,
Mhm,
right?
mhm,
It might not be the full version of what
mhm,
you are, but I'm filling in gaps of things that didn't make sense to me, things that were where it's kind of like, here's something. I remember learning in school that dinosaurs existed,
mhm, mhm,
right? We read about them, the Jurassic, the Cretaceous. We learn about all these things. It's in a book. But I
mhm,
remember as a child, about I guess I was about 10, and I was, me, I tell you, I ask questions. I make grown-ups pull their hair out because it wasn't in the Bible. right? And I would say, well, the book says that dinosaurs exist. Scientists are finding the bones, but the Bible doesn't say that dinosaurs existed, blah, blah, blah. So me, it's like I have to find the gap. What's missing? And that's only through asking questions and allowing people to give me their answer per their perspective and me take it in and go, well, where am I going to fill in my gaps with?
Yeah.
What resonates for me, right? And then find out, well, they did exist, right? For me,
Yeah.
right? I can walk through the museum and feel the just because the bones have been dead for 30 million years, everything is still vibrating. I
Yes,
can
I know.
feel the vibration of their story, right? I can feel the vibration of the story of who I was before I came into my body, this body. I can feel and fill in the gaps and then listen to other people when they filled in their gaps and I go, oh, that's it. you know and
Yeah.
that's it's part of the learning and the growth and knowing that wisdom doesn't just stop at one point and then I get to stay there in that forever,
Yeah.
right? I
I
remember
love
I
that.
had somebody ask me a while, and this is a while back, this is like 3 or 4 years back, when I was starting to really grow in my spirituality. They asked me, well, now that you're not doing, basically the born again walk,
Yes.
I was born a sinner, the blood of Jesus, that whole kind of thing.
Yeah.
I just realized that that story didn't fit. There was something missing. Now for me, not for them, not for this person who's now asking me this very important question for them.
Yeah.
The question was, are we worshiping or admonishing the same God? And I just said yes. I just now understand it, and it's opened up the expansion, and I found out that I'm not looking for it outside of me. I'm feeling it within me. And that was my growth and expansion. At that point I realized, oh, the gap has been filled in with listening to other people teach me,
Yes. I love that.
right? I hope that was long,
No,
but
no, no.
you know
I feel like that's how I answer my questions anyway. So I'm here listening and appreciating the expansions of it because you know some answers can be answered in 2 words, but those 2 words sometimes doesn't depict the actual full picture, right? And that's why they say a picture can give 1,000 words kind of thing.
yes,
So I
a
feel like the
thousand.
more
Yeah,
the more you expand on it, the more you're giving us clarity on what it is, rather than just allowing us to fill in the gap and assume, okay, maybe this is what they meant, this isn't meant, what or
yeah,
how they're taking it in one way or the other. So the more you expand, the more you're able to kind of like narrow down. Okay, this is what I'm clear. This is what I'm focused on. This is what I mean, rather than oh well,
yeah,
it could be meant this way, that way. So I appreciate that.
yeah. It's the same way with aliens. When I started to read the the law of one, the raw materials, that really okay, well, when I say aliens, I'm not talking about aliens like, people or whatnot.
Illegal aliens.
We're not talking about that illegal aliens. We're talking about what I believe in my teaching, early teaching, aliens didn't exist. They were only make believe, right? And that, but I've always been sci-fi. I've always said what if. I've
Yeah.
always felt very close to this vibration. And then I started to ask the question, what if these extraterrestrials were part of God's plan?
Mm.
Right? So that just kind of opened me up to, okay, I've got more to learn. Where am I going to fill in the gaps from? So I was reading the Law of One and the raw materials and understanding channeling, and then I got to, I think, almost book two, and I got stuck because of the terminology that Ra was using. And I said in my meditation, well, if you want me to continue with this in this divine manner, you're gonna have to help me out because I'm kind of, I need to fill in once again. I need to know what now. How do I fill in these gaps? And as I was reading that book and coming to the close of that, of another book on Instagram, a person came in and said, well, have you ever read The Divine Design? I said, the Divine Design. And they said, well, yes. I said, who's it by? And they said, Lori Ladd. I said, well, you know what I'll do is I'll go, I'll go to my Amazon and I'll check it out. I'll see if that's something possibly that we can read. When I went on Amazon, Geo, this is how energy works. This is how uh, um, frequency works, how it interacts with you. I went on to Amazon. The book was on sale, and I put it in my cart, and I sat on it for a few days because I was waiting to, get enough to order one kind of thing because I had some other things to order. And the book price went down again. So I said, okay, I'm going to order it now. So I ordered it. It came the next day,
Yeah.
and I started to read it. Well, that book was a channel book, and it was giving a more the raw material was giving you an overview. It was not diving into actually the intricacies of what was happening. The divine
Yeah.
design gave you a breakdown of what was actually happening, why we called these higher beings aliens or extraterrestrials, and it explained it for me, right? So what I started to learn is reading books or listening to music, listening to how people write, or songwriters, how they write their music, how the songwriter puts it their writing to music, to the frequency, and how you can learn from it. I started to really listen, right? That Earth School was showing me, and it was coming from everywhere. There was not a platform that even watching TV, even watching television that had series that I had watched, way back when, and then I start watching it, and then I go, "What? It just said what?" You you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so,
I
whew,
love that. You know,
man.
you, I love what you shared. It's so powerful, and it brought me to like see things from a perspective. Like that's when you spoke about the aliens and everything like so. I saw it more like everything is oneness, right? Everything is oneness. Everything is an extension or expansion of us. We call, if you look at the word, I mean, the word alien, and I don't know, like, for word, what it says in the dictionary, but it's basically speaking about something that is, like something that you don't recognize, that is strange to you, right? Like a stranger, one way
Right.
or the other, that is not, like, that you don't see as equal as you, one way or the other, right? So if you think about it from that point of view, animals are aliens to us, but we gave them a name that, oh, you are a dog, you are a bird, you are whatever. But those are versions of aliens if you think about it. The same way how we spoke about illegal aliens is because like you come from a different country, so you're an alien to this country, you're a stranger to this country. And that's why I called you an illegal alien one way or the other. But everything is it's oneness. the whatever constructs it, it comes from,
Exactly.
something that is within us, like, a soul. Like, a soul is coming inside this body, and this is an avatar or a temple, whatever you want to call it, but it's
Right.
the soul that makes us one, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
the same way how an animal, or how you spoke about the tree, it's a being, and it's like us one way or the other. The same goes with these extraterrestrial beings or entities. They're just like us. They're just wearing a different suit. They come from a different experience, a different culture, understanding, and how
Exactly.
they look at things. You know what I'm saying? So we call it as aliens, but the same way how we may call them as aliens because when they come to our planet, but when we go to their planet, we're aliens. You know what I'm saying? And they look at us differently, but we just call ourselves humans. So it's just what we give meaning to, and or we give a title to, right? It doesn't mean just because we give this a title, it doesn't mean this is it. You know what I'm saying? This is what we
Right.
call it as that. And so it's just about finding a deeper meaning to it. And I think how you even mentioned about music and how everything is being constructed and is brought from the divine, bringing it into reality through whether it's creativity sonically or artistry by drawing things, and this is all downloads that comes from the ether, right?
Right.
And who are we to say that we are better than them or they're better than us, or whatever it can be, because we all get the same information from the same source when we look at it from the point of view of like spirituality or soul to soul kind of conversations. So I believe, like, at the end of the day, we there's so much to us, and when we allow ourselves to expand on that, that's when we get to learn more about ourselves, about the world outside of us, and what makes us experience. Because at the end of the day, we are the universe experiencing itself, right? So whatever we come across, one way or the other, we see it from that point of view. And
Exactly.
I'm gonna leave you with this because I think my phone is on 3% now. It's gonna die soon. But
Yeah.
I just wanted to say,
I'm
like,
gonna. I want to acknowledge that Connie Bubbles says concept versus perspective, and I'm
mm,
gonna add to that for me it's not a versus, it's concept and perspective for me because
oh,
there for me, I mean, that's another deep dive. We're going to have to do that on a second one. But
yeah, for sure.
I love that that's brought up that way because I started to learn, Connie, that I can have a concept and it can morph into perspective for me,
I love that.
so
Cool. And by the way, because I cannot see the messages, I know for a
mhm.
fact Connie must be one of my soul family sisters that we met back in
Yes.
2020. So I did speak about it, about how that soul awakening, or me connecting with my soul family and might be the other. And look at that, one of them just showed up. So it's beautiful.
Yes.
But I want to say, leave it with this basically, that you know you come from a different perspective on life, right? And when I was making music, or I still am making music, but when I was you can either listen to things or view things from a listener slash viewer point of view or a creator point of view. And
Hmm.
your eyes will shift, your ears will shift. You're acknowledging something because I'm acknowledging this not to just be entertained by it, but to
Right.
study it. So when you come from a point of view, whether if you're watching a TV show, or when they used to just entertain you just for entertainment purposes, and now you're looking at it like, oh, I actually want to know why they created, or how they created this thing in this way, or how the actor is acting, what that kind of thing. It gives you a different perspective, and it's all through how you allow yourself to expand on. Do you want to limit yourself by just being a consumer, or to or go beyond and being how to be a producer of what you're watching right now, and how to produce your own thing. So
Yes. I
yeah, we,
agree.
we are multidimensional beings, and I tend to fascinate myself every single time when I just look at it from a different perspective, or go deeper and deeper and deeper, and how we can expand ourselves further and further through every and any situation. And how we do one thing is how we do everything. So
Right.
if you allow yourself to expand on even the most minimalistic thing, you can guarantee yourself that whenever it comes to something deeper, you will even go deeper and deeper and deeper.
Yes.
So,
You,
you
you,
know,
you think you're deep, and then all of a sudden you just dive off into the deep end even further.
hmm
Connie Bubbles says, how aware you are with an exclamation point. And DJ B Money 973 came in. I believe he or her, she is following you. And
hmm
we're coming to a close.
hmm
And with this, I want to say thank you for bringing your conversation to my table, to my room, to Soul Awakening Conversation, Emergent Flow. Thank you for diving deep and being literally, we came in wanting to do 45 minutes because, like I said, he's off work. He just got off
hmm
work. It's
hmm
it's it's now probably, is it like
getting to
12
11.
o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, getting to 11 p.m. Yeah.
Yeah, going on 11 p.m. And we did almost 2 hours. I'm
That's
going to
beautiful.
say, because we dived
It's always good.
deep for you guys. So I like everyone in the room to give him a hand.
Thank you.
I also want uh, to know if you'd like me to list you as a collaborator so that you can,
hmm
take this and do what you need to do to
hmm
support you and support me. I thank you
hmm
very much for that. And
hmm
do you have anything that you would like to leave us with in closing? I'd like you to close this.
Okay. Well, I'm literally on 1%, so I don't know how this is gonna close in the first
Yeah,
place
well, all
because
it has to
I think
do is be one sentence.
yes, 1 sentence. Okay, cool. I'm gonna leave you guys with this. You are where you are, and you are who you are. Wherever you go, you will always find and seek yourself, no matter who you speak to. So allow yourself to just be present and witness what things do expand because you learn so much from people because they're a reflection of you and a mirror of you. So you learn so much about yourself through people as well. Once you allow yourself to just sit back and step out of your own shoes and just see how the experience is going, to see how the experience is going between one of you guys. If you put yourself out here and you see how the flow is going, you can learn so much about who you are as an individual and how others will perceive you and how you perceive yourself and perceive others. And it's a whole uh, a
The whole
dance. So
wave.
allow yourself to dance in this realm with everybody, with everyone, with everything, because everything is it's energy. Energy is everything, and everything is energy. So allow yourself to experience life in that kind of way with awareness.
All right. Thank you so
With
much
that
for
being said,
being a part. And
thank you so much.
I'll go ahead and you can exit out, and I'll close it out for the rest and then
Okay,
work on, getting it in collaborator stage. All right?
sounds good. Sounds good. Thank you so much for
One
having
love.
me. It's been beautiful, and it's always a blessing to be here and share vibes with you. So thank you so much.
You're
Appreciate
welcome so much.
you.
Peace.
Thank you. Peace and love.
All right, peeps. I thank you for being part of this conversation, Soul Awakening Conversation, Emergent Flow. We will be back next Friday with another guest. Stay tuned. I'll have information going out. Um, Also, I have a Soul Awakening podcast series called Yin and Yang on on my YouTube, teaching us about the embodiment spirit experience of yin and yang. It's something that is within us. It's not necessarily what is being, for me, I found is being taught as masculine and feminine energy. So stay tuned. Next Tuesday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on my YouTube. Join us. I hope that your growth and well being will be oneness and wholeness. And thank you for joining me. One love, peace, wholeness, and balance. Love to you and yours. Love you.